Hi there, welcome back to Becoming the Best Version of Yourself. This is part 4, and today we're going to talk about what is holding you back. What's holding you back? I have some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the bad news first. That's always the way to go. Bad news is you, but you knew that. You are holding yourself back. Good news is it's not your fault. Yay! Bad news, now that you know about it, you have to do something about it. Good news, you can do something about it. Yay! So when I say that it's you, what I'm talking about is your subconscious mind. You probably heard, if you know me, you have probably heard me talk about the power of the subconscious mind before. And just to kind of break it down into a nutshell, if you imagine your mind as a ball, and it's cut in half. Now the halves are not equally proportioned. The lower half is 88% of the ball, and the upper half is just 12%. And so the upper half represents your conscious mind. It's just 12%. That's where you have your logic, your reason, analyzing, decision making, and willpower. Feels like 100%, right? It's not. Just 88%, excuse me, 12%. The other 88% is your subconscious programming. Now, where does your subconscious programming come from? What does it do? Why is it there? It comes from everything that you were exposed to predominantly before the age of about 13 years old. Everything that you're exposed to has created an association in your subconscious, which then creates your beliefs, your behaviors, your value systems. Everything is housed right there in the 88%. So what that looks like is if your mom ever told you to finish all the food on your plate because of the starving kids in India, Africa, China, Indonesia, you may or may not have a tendency to overeat as an adult, because that program, finish all the food on your plate, becomes indelibly written in your brain's functioning. And so now every time you have food in front of you, you eat it. I'm not saying that you're guaranteed to act this way, but it can definitely happen, and I've seen it many times. If you heard messages of lack when you were growing up, there's not enough money, there's not enough time, we can't afford that, no, we can't get that today, it's too much. If you received messages of lack as you were growing up, then that becomes a program in your mind. If you received negative messages such as, you're not good enough, or you were not appreciated as much as you would have liked to be as a child, and we know that our parents did the best job that they could, and this is no slight on parents. I am a parent myself, and I'm sure I am also making programs. I know that I am, but this is just the reaction. This is the rippling effect of what happens. Just as a disclaimer, just to avoid guilt, if you yourself are a parent as well, it's going to be okay. Anyway, back on track. If you received, messages that you were not good enough, that you couldn't do something, if people, didn't trust you, you weren't necessarily emotionally supported, or necessarily felt unconditionally loved. There's all kinds of messages, negative messages that are created, negative programs like that depict your deserve level, your confidence level, your self-esteem level, things like that. And those, as we know, can take a devastating effect on the rest of your life unless you actually do something about them. So why are you holding yourself back? Why is your subconscious mind working against what you consciously want? Because your subconscious mind is to keep you safe. Its entire job is to keep you safe. And what that looks like is making sure that everything stays the same. And that works down to a cellular level. When you sweat, why are you sweating? That's your body's biological response to overheating. When you shiver, same biological response to being too cold. And so this is where homeostasis comes into play, because everything down to your DNA is programmed to keep everything in your life just the same. And so how can you tackle that? Now that I know about this programming, what can I do? Well, that is why we're here. We're not going to cover everything today, but today we just wanted to shed some light on what's holding you back. So now you know. You can stay tuned. There are literally hundreds of ways that you can start to desensitize that programming that's not working for you and replace it with associations that will move you in the same direction that you want to go. So stay tuned. We will hit a different method of overcoming, that programming and raising self-esteem and building self-confidence and breaking through your barriers and all that kind of stuff further in the series. My name is Abby Caruthers. I think you guys know that. And it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Have an amazing day, and I will catch you next time.